Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
And I'm that co-host, Caliban, the noob, and Recycle Kids to the extreme. Everything. Recycle pets. Recycle cans and houses. Recycle motorcycles. That gets confusing. But definitely recycle plot elements when you're just killing time until the finale.
Wow.
We'll get to that a little later in the show.
Yes, we will. And we're a couple of magical people ready to moon prison power make up this episode. Sailor Noob is brought to you by Bubbles and Ferris Wheels.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Bubbles.
Let's.
We're currently on the cusp. Do Bubbles have cusps?
Sure.
The surface.
Sure.
But on the top.
Yeah.
We're riding on the top of a bubble like James and his friends in the Peach.
Okay, sure.
And weird book. And
It is.
What that bubble is iTunes popularity. We're currently at number 20 on the anime cartoon charts for iTunes Canada. I'm not sure how that works.
I don't know how it works either.
But we love you, Canada.
We do.
And we're hovering in the triple digits, like 100, 110, sort of the early hundreds on the U.S. charts.
Right.
We've gone as high as 36, I believe, on the U.S.
Very
charts.
nice.
So we're in the mix.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And
it does.
And it's all possible because of the people listening.
Yes, thank you.
So
thank you, listeners.
We
thank
appreciate
you, fans.
that.
We appreciate that.
You've given us a gift, and we need one more gift from you. Right?
Yeah.
You buy somebody a coffee maker, get them some filters too.
Sure,
get them
there
started,
you go. Right.
Or get them a bag of coffee. Right?
There you go. Yeah.
Throw that in there.
Yeah.
Well, the bag of coffee that we would ask from you is reviews on platforms.
Yes.
We were talking about iTunes. If you're on iTunes, it's super easy to do.
Yes.
And I know that, like, you know what the real problem is? And I was thinking about this. The real problem is that you sign on to your service, be it Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya, whatever it is that you're on.
Sure.
Deezer is another one.
Okay.
And you log in, you get your RSS, it goes to your app, whatever you're using.
Yeah.
You never go back to that page.
No, you don't.
Do you know what I mean? You never see that again.
Right.
Until it's time to look for a new podcast or whatever. So whatever platform you're on, maybe wait until you're going to look for a new podcast. But think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The next time you hear the show and you have some fun, go back to that platform. Don't take a long time. Don't waste your time. Just give us 5 stars.
Yes.
And say something nice about us. Read it on the show.
Yes.
And it'll just help us out.
Absolutely.
And it'll get more, it helps you out too, because you enjoy the show. And if we climb up on those charts, I think we rule Canada. I think that's, we unseat Trudeau and then we're in there, right?
All right. If I get free pure maple syrup for the rest of my life, I think I'd be happy.
Yeah,
so,
it's a Commonwealth, or what is it exactly? What's their status exactly? The thing about Americans is they don't really teach us about anybody else's government. I can tell you
not really
all about the 3 branches of our government, but
yeah, that's true.
I don't know how Canada works.
Yeah, I don't really know either. It's kind of upsetting when you sit and think about it.
Anyways. I think they like Sailor Moon though.
I think that's what
so we're going to keep working that angle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. It's time
What's that sound?
That's the Instagram bell.
Whoa.
Yes, you've got an Instagram.
Cha-ching.
Special delivery. Speedy delivery?
I don't.
Speedy delivery?
Yeah, I know. Speedy delivery, sure.
Mr. Rogers?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
That guy's gone.
Yeah, I know.
He's out of a job.
No.
Yeah. Put him on the truck with all the mailboxes that they're pulling off the streets.
Stop it.
Anyway, we said before on a previous episode that we had a new Instagram.
Yes.
That we were doing things to. Good things, hopefully.
Let's hope.
We haven't done as much as we have liked to yet, but I did want to just mention that we did say that we would call out our first follower on the air, and then I realized as I was looking at our followers, I don't know who the first was, so I'm just gonna call out all of them.
There you go.
I think that's the only way to be democratic and fair about it.
I think you're absolutely correct. Let's do it.
Yeah. So You don't count.
No, I don't.
But
that's fair.
We'll talk about some of the rest of them.
Okay.
First of all, we've got Anamura Brit Life.
Yes.
Which that's some Brit life. It's an American living in England.
Yes.
Which that seems like a good follow.
I think that is a good follow.
Have you ever been to England?
I've never been. Really want to go.
You simply must go.
I know you can say that because you've been there.
It's not. It's just like rainy, northeast America. It's not like.
Yeah, but
it's fun. It's fine.
There's so much history.
There is a lot of history,
though,
yeah.
And like
and
I think it'd be so cool. Yeah,
the food. People say the food's bad. It's only bad if you like that kind of food. If you like a pea that's like half gray, half green.
Not really.
You're gonna be in heaven.
You know what else?
You tuck into a Harvester's.
I found out is a popular pub food in England, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Is pickled eggs.
Sure. Well, but they have pickled eggs here.
Do they?
Yeah, some places.
I don't think I've
Reach
ever...
into the old pickle egg jar. They're kind of pink from the vinegar.
Oh,
that's how you do it.
I don't know, man. It doesn't appeal.
That's a real thing.
I've never had one. Okay.
All right.
Anyways.
Next up is Alicia Green at Alicia Greeny on Instagram, who's a fan that we've had contact with and is very, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice person. And just looking, I don't want to rate everybody's like streams here, but like she's living some amazing life. She's got a lot of great photos of doing a lot of cool stuff. We also got Schneider Atelier Bodensee.
Very nice.
Yes. Atelier is a workshop or a studio, usually for an artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how you do that.
I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Speaking of artists, we've also got Sugar Pop Punch.
Very nice.
Sugar Pop Punch has a lot of art, not just Sailor Moon, but kind of anime-influenced art, which is it's pretty incredible. If I had known that, I think I was saying this the other day, if I had known that the internet was going to exist, I never would have put down the pencil. I used to draw all the time.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who is a professional artist, like a working artist.
Yes.
And he and I used to draw things, together. We'd draw Ninja Turtles or something. And I'd spend like an hour working on like one perfect Ninja Turtle head. And I'd be like, oh man, that looks just like Eastman and Laird's The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Sure.
And I go, check this out. And he's like, yeah, that's pretty great. And then he'd show me like, remember he had the brown bag book covers? Your mom would put on your books?
Yep.
He showed me his book cover and like he's got a whole like diptych, with like the turtles are fighting Shredder on a rooftop, and Splinter's cheering him on.
Right.
And I just broke my pencil in half and I never looked back. But if I had known that you could make and share your art with people online and possibly even like sell it, and maybe make a little green off of it, I never would have stopped. So for people who are making art, don't ever stop.
Just keep doing it. Live your dream.
You gotta keep doing it.
Yeah.
Next up is Max Housany at Max_Housany, Housany, on Instagram. And he's another follower that we've talked to.
Yes.
And he's a nice guy too. We've also got Megs Ruby, like Megs Z Ruby.
Oh, okay.
On
Very
Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah. So we've got some followers.
Yeah. How about that? We got some followers.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody for giving us a follow. And we're hoping to put some more stuff
Maybe
up
I'll
there.
pick the pencil back up.
Yeah, exactly.
You see some. Hey, there's a Sailor.
Pick the gram back
the
up.
Sailor Moon redraw. Has anybody done just like a
stick
figure that's looking up to the side?
That would be my contribution. That's about my
put some
level.
dangle buns on top of it, and they're like nice minimalist Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. So my youngest sister is a pretty good visual artist too, and she's been drawing since she was little, right? And I was never really that great at it. And like there was maybe like one time in high school I was like just kind of like really studying something. I can't even remember what it was. It might have been Sailor Moon. And it took me hours, like you were saying. Mine was not up to scale as yours, I'm guessing. And,
well, mine is hanging in a museum somewhere.
Well, yes. But she looked at it and she was like, oh, that's so good. And I'm like, don't you patronize me.
But it probably wasn't. I know her. She wouldn't patronize. I bet, hey, rest assured, your crappy drawing She probably really did like it.
Today we are talking about episode number 41. Mo koi kara niganai, ami to Mamoru taki ketsu in Japanese. I won't run away from love anymore, Ami versus Mamoru. The English translation and the English title, Tuxedo Unmasked.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is a website.
It is. And one that I highly recommend.
I have no problem giving them a free plug.
He does a fantastic job.
Yeah, very detailed.
Very detailed.
I mean, what I've
researched.
Seen of it.
Yeah.
I can't look at it too much.
No, well, you don't want to get spoilers. I look at it all the time. But
sure.
But he actually studies Japanese as well, so he has that
cool.
as a background as well. So that's he brings some insights as far as that goes too. And from what I understand, like he has a better understanding of the language than I do myself, so it's kind of cool.
Okay, is he free to
I don't know.
Can you hire your replacement?
Wow. I guess I just promoted myself out of a job. I don't know here. Maybe I didn't promote myself.
No, you recommended your replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
I know some people who need jobs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
The Sailor Moon Cafe experience, or I can't remember what it's called.
It is called Shining Moon Tokyo.
Shining Moon Tokyo?
Yeah, in Azabujuban, Tokyo.
Yeah.
It was a show restaurant, and it only opened, I believe, last year. So in 2019, I think.
Okay. Really?
I think so.
Huh.
Yeah, on August 15th, 2019, this is from their English part of their website. The world's first Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon show restaurant opened in Azabujuban, Tokyo, where the story of Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon is set in, which is, true, and that's really cool. But, you watch a stage show with the Sailor Moon characters, and you eat your Sailor Moon themed food, and you can buy Sailor Moon themed goods and that sort of thing. It's a whole experience.
Huh.
But
I don't know.
No?
It seems, I don't know. Like, nobody wants to sing and dance at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And nobody really wants to, like, watch anybody sing and dance at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday. So hopefully it was only open at certain times.
Yeah. But... I don't know. I've gone to theater. I haven't performed at, like, dinner theater, but, like, I've gone to dinner theater, and I feel really weird about eating while watching a show.
Both sides of that situation.
How do you feel about performing while people are eating?
Nobody wants to perform I've performed at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, that's not a fun time to perform.
We used to do school matinees.
Sure.
At the G.
At the G?
Well, let's try to figure out what I mean by that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
if
about.
I mean, nobody wants that. But anyway, I hate to be negative because now they're closed, but that would be really hard to maintain, wouldn't it?
Right now, what could you do? I mean, you could maybe do takeout food, but I don't, not really. Yeah. And it was like
microwave meals. There you go.
It was like Sailor Moon themed, like type.
Yeah,
too,
it sounds like it was really
cute.
cool.
Yeah, but
hopefully they can do something like this again. When things clear up. If things clear up.
It's sad. I guess the first clue they got about it was the marquee was taken down. So it is really sad. But I do hope they can do something like this again. It was cool. It was in Azabujuban.
Yep.
But sad day for Sailor Moon.
Life imitating art.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I guess if you walked outside and there were some window washers, and then the rope got cut, and then they fell down, and they were saved by purple Sailor Moon.
Right, Nisei Sailor Moon. Yeah, right. Would you like to give a synopsis of the show?
Yes.
Of the episode we just watched.
This is episode 41.
Yes.
And we don't really have an official countdown, but we're still counting down.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I know, right?
There's no movie after this, right?
That is correct.
Okay. All right.
That is
have to
correct.
Deal with that,
so
but we'll still have a sort of special wrap-up episode when we reach the end of this first season. But we can't get there without going through this.
That's right.
And we open with the burning hot sun shining down on the savannas of Africa. And oh my God, we're actually going to do it. We're bringing Motoki's girlfriend back.
I know.
Watch out, Mako. You had your chance. We've got some real drums and some like indigenous music going on.
Yeah.
And they've got that rattling thing.
I don't know what it's
musical
called.
corduroy.
Yeah, right.
And you get a gourd with grooves on it. It's like the zit, zit, zit,
Yes.
zit.
Yeah.
And we see a young brunette researcher, pith helmet on. She's taking all kinds of notes about these fossils.
Yes.
And suddenly she's covered in shadow. She looks up to see a toes to top look over of Endymion.
Yep.
In full regalia, sword and all. Mm-hmm. He says, I've been looking for you, Miss Rika Nishimura.
Yeah.
Or should I call you Riko Keita?
Yeah.
One of the 7 Great Youma.
Yes.
She's like, what? Which raises an interesting question about whether the humans remember what happened. We always ask, what do they think happened?
Yeah.
But apparently, no memory.
Oh, you think so? You think she wasn't just
Well, she doesn't get
dumb?
a chance to really react.
No, she
but
doesn't.
As we go on, we're going to meet some of the other people, and I don't know if they remember.
Well, okay. Well, we can talk about it.
I thought we were talking about it now, but
well,
we will.
I think Ro remembers, don't you think?
Yeah, but he's psychic.
Yeah, that's true.
He remembers everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Endymion says, you're coming with me. And he zoys out the black crystal.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Too soon.
Yeah.
He sucks Rika into the crystal.
Yeah.
Only her pith helmet is left behind. Where we're going, we don't need pith helmets.
Woo.
We get a closer look at the crystal, and we see Rika trapped within. But as the light flickers to another facet of the gem, we see Crane Master Joe.
Yep.
The Bokushi.
Yeah.
And Rhett Butler!
I know. Our boy Rhett Butler.
Tuxedo Mask, you know all these people. Why are you doing this?
I know.
He's been busy.
He has.
He's gathered all these people up. And
Yes.
I was thinking about this too. We always talk about, I was actually having a conversation with a fan on YouTube recently about how the show is just, I know that like people who care, you look at like He-Man. He-Man doesn't remember what he did last week. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain level where everybody involved just goes,
Next
right?
week, new episode. Right.
We see this in a lot of anime, but I'm sure there's lazy anime, but like they are on board for this. Like they are paying attention, and it's kind of a big ask for like an 8-year-old to
remember all these characters that were only
but
in
they're
one episode.
asking you to do that, you know.
Yeah.
And this isn't I mean, I know like a lot of shows on Cartoon Network, like on Toonami or anime and are similar things, but like I think that's I appreciate that, but also it's it's kind of a risk considering your audience.
Yes.
But then again, I watched, Robotech or whatever when I was 7, and I was like, oh man, Rick Hunter's in trouble now. Like I could follow it all. So
yeah, right.
we cut to a snowy dystopia skyline. Ami picks up her phone, and it's Urawa, the boy genius / psychic. Yes. He says, are you near a TV? Wouldn't he know? And Ami turns the TV on, and there's a news report saying, Yumeino is missing.
I know.
Oh no.
I know.
He says she drew a picture of the people who are taking her away, but it's all smeary. He says, I still have a little bit of psychic power left, huh?
Yeah. Huh? I was wrong.
You were wrong.
I was wrong, yeah.
I won't rub it in.
Yeah. I can admit when I was wrong.
And he says the next target will be Ray's grandpa.
And yeah,
dun, dun,
right,
dun.
Right.
So you gotta go help him. He hangs up. And he says that it's better that I'm on my own now. He's at a payphone.
Yeah.
And he walks down the street. And he walks by Mako, apparently, who's like, isn't that the weirdo that liked me?
Yeah.
She's got no time to consider that because she gets a call on her Adventures card.
Yes.
Which, I had a thought this week. They kind of look like birth control pill cards, don't they?
Whoa.
Some birth control pills come and they have that little wheel. So there's a little extra bump where the card wheels out. It's kind of what they look like, don't
I
they?
guess a little bit. I never thought about it like that before. I don't think that's what they intended. I always thought they kind of look like cute little calculators that have just like a little screen on them. So maybe that's what they were going for.
Or birth control pill containers. Either one. Anyway, it's Luna calling, and she says, get to Hikawa Shrine right away.
Yeah.
Oh no, Grandpa! But we cut to the Dark Kingdom, and Kunzite appears before Queen Beryl and asks, why male models? Why bring the 7 Great Youma back now?
Yeah.
And Beryl laughs, and says, even though they were purified by the moonstick and returned to being mortal, we can use our dark energy and the dark crystal to turn them back into monsters. Huh. It's great.
I feel like the Dark Crystal is whatever the Dark Kingdom needs them to be, needs it to be, and like we just decided it has also this ability.
Yes, and Kunzite
wow.
Knows this because he says, speaking for the audience, but they were all defeated and they're powerless now.
Yeah.
And Beryl says, shh, we're doing it for the plot. I mean, when the 7 are returned, they'll combine to form the largest and most powerful monster ever, like the Devastator of Youma.
Yeah, right.
And Kunzite's like, oh, okay. But why send Endymion instead of me?
Right,
and why male models? And she's like, shh, let's just watch and see.
I know.
At Hikawa Shrine, Grandpa's fine, and he and Yuichiro are shoveling snow. Inside the house, the girls are wondering if Ryo's psychic powers are still any good. Ami thinks so. She's on his side. Artemis says, the Dark Kingdom is planning something. Thanks, Artie. Mako says, well, what are we waiting for? Let's go find Ryo. I just saw him on the street.
Yeah.
He was totally weird.
Right.
And come on, Ami. You 3 protect Grandpa. And they leave.
Yeah.
Ami and Mako, and they split the party. Always a good idea.
Yeah, well.
Usagi bursts out crying. She's really distraught. Just wait for it. Just let him finish. It's like the guy in Arrested Development, you know? It's like, I'm sorry, we lost him. No, he went out the window.
I know, right, yeah.
She's distraught because the hero of this manga she's reading is having a tough time.
I know.
Dumb Bunny 8, as will become clear over the course of the episode.
Yeah.
Ray's like, hey, ask before you read my manga. Watch it, Ray. I'll make a Dumb Bunny scale for you. We can do that. Or a thermometer.
Oh, yeah, maybe she did thermometer because of fire and everything. Yeah.
On the street, Endymion is in the guise of Mamoru, and he's just wearing street clothes. He's got like a leather jacket and sunglasses on.
Yeah.
And it occurs to me that his eyes should glow red or something now that he's evil, because he just looks like Mamoru here.
True.
He's looking all around for Ryo, and come on, you found a lady in Africa. You can't find this kid in your own town.
Yeah, right.
But what if the kid finds you?
Right.
Because he sees Ryo crossing the street in front of him and confronts him in the middle of the crosswalk. And Mamoru's like, okay, you're psychic. You know who I am. Come on, get in the crystal. Let's go. Yeah, you're psychic. I know. But Ryo says, someone once told me the future is what I make it. Murderer! Help!
I know, and that's what he does.
And Mamoru gets swarmed by people responding to Ryo's call for help. Across town, Ami and Mako are still looking. It doesn't seem like they're looking very hard, but, you know, it's a big city. Ami says, let's go back. We're not going to find him. But Mako says, hey, he's your boyfriend, right? Don't give me that crap. He likes you. You got to go for it. Even heroes can fall in love. Mm-hmm. And Ami says she can't pursue him because she's got too much to deal with.
Uh-huh.
But Mako says she's just making excuses. And she's looking at a shop window when she says this. Ami, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she sees Ryo on the street, you know, fleeing.
Right.
And she also sees somebody holding a Rhett Butler sign, which is not his owner.
I know, and I couldn't
So I think people have heard. People know the legend of Rhett Butler. Ami runs off and Mako follows. We find Ryo running down an alley trying to escape, but he's met at the alley's entrance by sailors Mercury and Jupiter.
Yes.
Just then Endymion appears and they all face off against him. Jupiter says, you take him, I'll take evil Tuxedo Mask here.
Yeah.
So Ami and Ryo run off and Jupiter says, I don't want to fight you, but I will if I have to. Supreme Thunder!
Yeah.
Mamoru dodges it. And he's like, is that all you got?
Yeah.
On the run, Mercury calls the team. She calls the team while she calls Minako and the cats. Ray and Usagi are fighting over the manga.
Right,
She fills them in on the situation. Ray hears Mamoru, and now she's interested. And Ami says, Usagi, you got to get down here. We need the moon stick. Usagi's not very focused right now, but she says, okay, I'm on my way. In the alley, Jupiter is trying to kung a lot of fu, but Mamoru is holding his own. And he's like, you're pretty good. You made me use 1% of my Endymion.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But it's my turn. And he kung fu's back, and he's got her cornered. And he pulls back for a huge punch, and he stops just short of clocking her in the face.
Yeah.
And he turns away and says, you can't take me on your own. Come back when you're stronger.
Yeah.
You got to train.
Yeah,
and
right.
Jupiter says, Xaw!
Yeah.
On the streets of Tokyo, we pan down from a Sailor Moon billboard.
I know.
Girls, you're losing control of your property.
Yeah, right?
To see Ami and Rio fleeing, Rio sees an amusement park and says, let's head in there. I've never seen a horror film. What a good place to confront the villain. Right? Usagi is on the street running to meet Ami, and she's complaining it's too cold and it's bad for her complexion.
Yeah.
It's an Ami episode this week.
Yeah, it is.
I guess. I mean, what if in these episodes we're seeing the other characters the way the character who is the focus of the episode sees them? That's my theory.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't know why Usagi's so dumb. maybe this whole thing is sort of filtered through, Ami's or maybe the other girl's view of her, because this is negligent.
Like, Ami is like she's like a really good student and she's really smart, but I don't think she thinks Usagi is dumb. I just don't think she thinks that she's a great student.
Well,
yeah,
we'll see. I don't know. I mean, good example. Luna tells her to run faster because it'll warm her up, but Usagi slips and falls on her butt.
Yeah,
and starts crying.
I know.
But
she's
maybe
a klutz.
Maybe Dumb Bunny 9.
Yeah, okay.
But this is just character assassination at this point.
Yeah.
But because this is an episode of coincidences, Sailor Jupiter is right there. And Usagi says, yay, we made it. But Mako's like, oh, no, he took off. We got to go over there now. Yeah. We cut to Tenban Land. They're really going to use this a lot now, I think.
Yeah, Junban Land.
Where Rio and Ami are in the park. Rio says that he always wanted to bring her here. And he's acting kind of weird. He says, we will part ways after this. And he says, I wasn't human to begin with, so I'm ready to give my life to save the world. And Ami's like, we're so alike. Isn't that just us? Always trying to run from our problems. Sacrificing yourself is noble, but isn't living better? People care about you. Mm-hmm. Let's take this problem head on. Mm-hmm. Great speech.
Yes.
Just then we hear the voice of Endymion, and I'm surprised we don't get a... He says,
I know, right?
Those are admirable words, Sailor Mercury. And the Ferris wheel lights up behind him, and Endymion is standing atop of it. He's getting better at these entrances.
Yeah, he is.
Outside the park, Luna, Jupiter, and Usagi, who's still in civvies at this point. She hasn't transformed.
No.
They see the lights on in the park, and they run into it. Mamoru leaps down from the Ferris wheel in the park, and Ami tells him, I'm not waiting anymore. Let's fight. Mm-hmm. Shaban spray. But Mamoru seems to see right through it.
Yeah, he does.
And he sort of corners her, and then zoys the black crystal out and absorbs Rio into it.
Yeah.
And now Ami's mad.
Yeah.
Arthur meme. This is happening. Little blue glove going, right?
Yeah.
She says, Mamoru, no. Endymion, I won't forgive you. Douse yourself in water and repent.
Yeah.
And he says, if you can defeat me, you can destroy this crystal and get your boyfriend back.
Uh-huh.
And he changes into his Tuxedo Mask togs. Ami dashes at him and past him, but then flips around.
Yeah.
And releases bubble spray.
Yes.
Shooting bubbles everywhere. He deflects him with his cane, but as they pop, they fill the area with fog. And while he continues to deflect, Ami does that little ninja move.
Yeah.
Grabs the crystal from his hand. And then she smashes it and destroys it, releasing the humans and Red Butler! But no Gigi!
No Gigi.
Jupiter and Moon arrive, and Ami thanks Mako for the extra push. She says, Sailor Moon, save him!
Yeah.
Sailor Moon says, if you're going to recycle something, use cans. Not old plot lines.
No.
In the name of the moon, I'll punish you.
Yeah.
We get a Supreme Thunder and a Shaban spray, which wraps up and electrocutes TM, paralyzing him. And a moon healing escalation.
Yes.
Mamoru begins to remember his life before, and Luna says, give him all the juice.
Right.
And Sailor Moon seems to turn it up, turn the Ghostbuster stick to full.
Yes.
And he says, refresh. And Mamoru is back in his motorcycle outfit. They did it.
Yeah.
But he immediately disappears.
I know.
Taken by the Dark Kingdom.
Yeah.
Back in the Dark Kingdom, we see him in the dark energy pod again.
Yep.
And Beryl says, so he still has his memories. We need to infuse him with the energy of our great ruler and make him a loyal servant of the Dark Kingdom. Mm-hmm. Which is that's kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? They sent out all those Chanellas and opened all those gyms and got all that dark energy. But now they're going to now we got to tap into the dark energy kitty at this point.
Yeah, right?
To get this ding dong on his feet again. The next day, we're back at Tenban Land.
Yeah,
and Rio and Ami are on the Ferris wheel, and the girls are there, but Usagi's not happy. She says, if she falls in love and forgets our mission, who's going to keep us in line? And Minako says,
Usagi.
isn't that your job?
Yeah, right.
And Mako's like, oh, okay, let's just have fun and leave those two alone for a while.
Yeah.
And we get a nice picture of Rio and Ami in a heart at the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's cute.
it is.
And sweet.
I realized something, which I guess I should have, 41 minus 8.
A long time
33?
ago. Yeah.
33 episodes.
Uh-huh.
There's been an animation mistake when Ami casts Shaban spray. She goes, Shaban spray! And she brings her hands together, and her left hand, for like a frame, or maybe a 2, or a cell, I guess, changes into her flesh hand. Her glove disappears.
Oh, really?
And this has been, they fix it, I think, in the next series I read, but like, this has been in every time she does it. Yeah,
You're kidding.
I never noticed
that
before. Yeah.
That's so weird.
This show's over. This is the last episode of Sailor Noob. And Noob is embittered.
Oh, my God.
There's one more thing I want to mention before we move on. You know, we've always got our eyes open for things in the background. Rip Butler signs and things like that.
Yes.
And weird phrases. And I noticed that, like, I think it's like the Ferris wheel or something in the amusement park has a word on it that I did not recognize.
Right.
It's sun police.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Which sounds like, you know, the local constabulary on the surface of our star.
Yeah. Right.
But I had no idea what that was. We ran it through your English detector to see if there's something that it could have been there. But not, and I searched it on the web, and you get a different couple kind of confusing results, but eventually I boiled it down by going to wikimoon.org, which is a Sailor Moon Wikipedia.
Yep.
And in their discussion page, not even an article, somebody mentions that it's a reference to the Japanese electronic rock band P-Model. They have a song called Sun Police.
Okay.
Which I haven't had a chance to listen to, and I still don't know if that refers to anything or what that is. But apparently... and
it has anything to do with amusement parks whatsoever.
I had no, I don't think it has anything to do, but here's what it is. Apparently, this band, or the artist behind this band, has been influential on many artists, other musicians, but also artists in the manga and anime industries.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, and so there are a lot of shout-outs to this guy, apparently, in other shows.
Sure.
Like JoJo or Hellsing, you know, or one of the Fullmetal Alchemists films or series. And like the late, great Satoshi Kon had talked about his influence. Kentaro Miura, the guy that made Berserk, has said that not only does he enjoy listening to it, but the themes in some of the music inspires the themes that he puts into his work.
That's, I don't know, that's so cool. I mean, I think it's just fascinating to me that something like this happens, but I think that, you know, art often inspires other art. You don't necessarily know about it, but I think it says something about this particular group that they are inspiring all these other artists. But it's just fascinating. Like, I wonder what the connection is between anime and manga and this particular group.
I think that,
you know,
manga art, you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
Manga artists spend a lot of time at the drawing board.
That's true.
Like any artist does. And listens to music, probably. Yeah. And I think that could be what it is.
Maybe also, it's very inspirational music.
Could also just be, it could speak to the sort of outsider feelings and emotions that a lot of artists have as well. So, I don't know. I can't think of any American equivalent to this. I can't
really either.
Except every, you know, rock band of the 90s really like the Kinks. But that's about all I can think of. But yeah. So, and I've seen Perfect Blue like 15 times.
Yeah.
And I was never aware to look for Sun Police or P-Model references.
No, so this is
so when I'm seeing that, or like Space Dandy or Fate Stay Night, like apparently in all of these things. So we're onto something here.
Look out for Sun Police.
This is we're pulling the thread.
P-Model, I should say.
And the whole sweater's going to come undone. Weezer, a lot of 2000s bands. Yeah. All listen to Weezer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Weezer was inspired by Kiss.
Right. I find stuff like this so fascinating. I love getting like these bunches of tidbits and like trivia, and I love that the anime like puts stuff like that in there. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. How would you describe Just Enough Trope? We are the Just Enough Trope podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined as always by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mikan Hana.
Oh no, does this mean they can hear all the things I yell at the TV during Downton Abbey?
Why did you do that?
How do you plead?
Let the game begin. Yeah, check these fresh moves. Oh!
Don't shoot man in face.
This isn't the Save Gotham fundraiser.
It's the Chill Family Reunion.
Master Yoda assigned a Padawan to this bold Jedi.
I think it's pronounced Padawan.
Oh, Padawan, excuse me.
Hey, it's getting late. I think Ralph's going to want his motorcycle back.
Go jerk off the pictures of Dean Gray.
I am freaking getting old.
Yeah, I noticed the life clock was blinking in your hand.
Get out of here, Wilson. Go fight the Teen Titans or something.
I'm unkillable, not unwoundable.
You like Sailor Moon, right? Why don't you sail on this?
Oh, wow.
Just Enough Trope. News, reviews, and geek fondue. Every Monday on the Just Enough Trope podcast network.
Love and me never have a say. You so sorry.
What? For Kuro Kuromiro Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode, I thought that we would talk about the Japanese asset price bubble, or Babaru Keiki, and Ferris wheels in Japan.
Why these two things?
Well, I will tell you why. This episode this episode largely follows a me who, as Sailor Mercury, has powers that are water.
She makes bubbles.
Yes, they're water-based,
no.
and a lot of them involve her creating bubbles to create mist to protect her friends and disorientate the bad guys. We learn in this episode that Ami also enjoys Ferris wheels. The Japanese asset price bubble was a time period in Japan where the economy was doing really well and there was a lot of excessive spending.
This was like the last act of the economic miracle, which was their relatively rapid return to profitability.
Yes.
In the post-World War II era. When
yes.
They were devastated.
Right. So it's like the mid 80s to the early 90s.
Well, I mean, the economy
Yeah, ramped up through
since 1946, but
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this is the time period where you'd see this a lot in like movies in the 80s where they'd be like, "Oh boy, the Japanese are buying
taking
the
everything.
Japanese bought the Statue of Liberty." Did you hear about that?
Well, so some things that I read about this time period mentioned that a lot of other world powers or countries or what have you, they were anticipating Japan was doing so well economically.
How well were they doing?
So well that they thought they were gonna, surpass the United States as being, the example of prosperity and the leader of the free world sort of thing.
Well, thank God their economy crashed.
Well, I don't
think
know
you can
if
lead.
I would go with that.
I don't want to. Let's get into what you want to talk about. But
Yeah.
I don't think you can lead the free world without an army.
Fair.
That's going to be a rough one.
Right. But so getting back to what we're talking about today, during this time, there were a lot of amusement parks built in Japan, and it also marks the beginning of Japan's boom of constructing Ferris wheels. Yes.
So it's a good time, party time.
It is a good time, party time.
Yeah.
Yes. Babaru Keiki was an economic bubble in Japan from 1986 to 1991, in which the stock market and real estate prices were substantially inflated. In early 1992, the Babaru Keiki ruptured and Japan's economy declined. The bubble was identified by fast increase of asset prices and heightened economic activity, as well as an unrestricted credit and money supply growth. Even though asset prices had subsided by early 1992, the economy's downturn persisted for more than a decade. This downturn produced a large collection of non-performing asset loans, which led to complications for many financial institutions in Japan. The rupturing of the Babaru Keiki gave rise to what many call the lost decade.
The 90s?
Well,
it's
more or
perfect.
less the 90s. Yes.
How do you say smells like Teen Spirit?
Right. The Baburu Keiki affected all of Japan. However, there were three main factors that determined the variance of the impact. How big the city was, how close to the Tokyo metropolis and Osaka the city was, and the historical significance of the city and the central government's policy. Cities and prefectures in close proximity to Tokyo sustained much greater pressure in the asset prices in comparison to cities and prefectures that were further away from Tokyo. The Japan Real Estate Institute has determined that Tokyo, Yokohama, Nagoya, Kyoto, Osaka, and Kobe were the 6 major cities most affected by the Baburu Keiki. By 1991, commercial land prices in these cities climbed to 302.9%. Residential land prices increased to 180.5%. And the industrial land prices increased to 162% in comparison to 1985 prices.
A lot of percents.
A lot. I never, this is just a side note, but I never understood, I still can't wrap my head around, like, how can something be more than 100%?
Well, it's more than it would have been. So
I see.
200% of $100 is $200 or whatever, right?
Yeah. Okay, fair.
And these 6 cities, I mean, they're major cities. They're like
Yes.
major manufacturing cities or just industrial cities? Or is this related to, oh boy, we're going to get into our lack of knowledge about the stock market.
Well, I don't, Tokyo and Osaka, I know specifically, are very industrial heavy cities. From what I did read, during this time specifically, there were a lot of companies, especially that wanted to have headquarters or offices in Tokyo. I'm sure that's still true to a lot of extent to today.
But the real estate's blown up now, so they...
Right,
yeah.
right. But
I was wondering if there was a city that, other cities that were sort of spared this. If these 6 major cities were the hardest hit of the major cities, there's a city somewhere that's making slap bracelets or something like that, and they're doing just fine. Somebody's making all those pogs, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Somebody's doing something, and they're doing okay.
But yeah, I mean, sure, there's manufacturing in Tokyo, but also real estate. Like it's,
oh my gosh,
it's like
yeah.
New York. Like
yeah, and it's a big city. It's a major city. There's so many different companies on top of each other. Ferris wheels.
Not yet.
But during this time, the demand for land and realty in Tokyo outweighed the supply.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a major problem. The Baburu Keiki was a time of unbridled spending, not just for corporations, but for individual consumers as well. The Japanese culture encourages a strong work ethic, and most people work very hard. Because of this, or at least largely because of this, a lot of Japanese people play very hard also. The Japanese economic bubble helped to transform Japan's amusements into full-time infatuation. After all, people needed to spend their money, so corporations had to create places and items for consumers to spend it on.
I know a child's cartoon wouldn't necessarily be the place to reflect economic realities, but if Sailor Moon starts in 1991, at the beginning of the 90s, we don't see any of that depression there in, what we're seeing. I mean, she's just, a young girl. Maybe her father has spared it because he's, a journalist or a photojournalist or whatever. But I have to imagine that, the concept of the salaryman has existed for a long time.
Yeah.
But the late 70s, early 80s is probably the time when the salaryman can have a boat. We're going to move into a bigger apartment or a bigger house or something like that. You're seeing like the prosperity of the middle class in response to the boom of the economy in general.
Yeah, well, I think that's true, and I think we've remarked before about they have a pretty decent sized home for
So what I'm saying is, 1992 or season 2, Usagi's living in a box.
Well, I think didn't it air in 92? I think it aired in 92.
Well, whatever. I mean, it's being developed and created.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know that we'll necessarily get into that. The manga doesn't really get into that, so I would be, but it's entirely possible we could see that.
Shingo's working in a coal mine.
Right. Oh man, it's so
Just
rough.
trying to keep afloat.
Right. I don't get allowance anymore.
I got I got one big mouth to feed.
Yeah, right.
Usagi.
Wow. So Japan is a country that embraced amusement parks. Amusement rides have existed in Japan since the 1920s, with the fairground-type transportable ones set up along railways.
I just have to ask, because this has been... We went through skating. We went through skiing.
We did?
Was there a Mr. Amusement who's like... he had a striped suit with a straw hat, and he's
Not that I know of.
Yeah, it starts with a P, and it rhymes with arc, and it stands for park.
But that would be fantastic and would go along with the themes that we've
subtitle,
had.
He doesn't know the territories.
Right.
Just, I don't know. Come for the anime, stay for the theater jokes.
Yeah, right. And it moved on to the large concrete amusement parks in the 1980s and the theme parks of the 1990s. Many amusement parks in Japan were built during the Babaru Keiki of the 1980s. This was helped in part by the opening of Tokyo Disneyland in 1983, which was incredibly successful.
Yeah.
Corporations wanted to build off of and mimic that success, and it resulted in a boom of theme park development throughout the 1980s. Japan also loves Ferris wheels, and they are located all over the country due to a growth in constructing the tallest wheel and constantly beating the record through the 1990s that technically started in 1989 with the Cosmo Clock 21 that was constructed for the 89 Yokohama Exposition.
Yes.
Yeah, it's yes, all in caps. When it was originally built...
And then it was, no, 1990,
Yeah,
no.
right,
Where'd all my
right.
money go?
I know, right? When it was originally built, it was the tallest in the world at 107.5 meters or 353 feet tall.
Wow.
Even though the Japanese economy was not doing well throughout most of the 1990s due to the bursting of the economic bubble in 1992, there was still a need to build amusements that were a means of escape from their busy daily lives.
So when they're building these,
Yes.
they're building them in the 90s. Like, the economy is already going down, but at that point, they had that taste for Ferris wheels.
Well, yeah.
They've tasted Ferris wheel. They can't go back.
Right. So they had like there was like a string that like that were like world breakers. Like they broke world records as being the tallest.
Oh, it's like,
Sorry.
Galactus,
I didn't say
Galactus, the Ferris wheel.
I didn't say that very well. But then there were some that it was like, well, maybe this isn't the tallest in the world anymore because by the time it's done constructing, it's not going to be the tallest, but it's the tallest in Japan. But then it gets beat like seriously maybe a year later by something else. And it was just like, it's almost like they had this like weird kind of like
friendly competition.
Yeah, right. And I don't know if it was just like we're this kind of idea of like we're Japan, we're competitive, we want to be the best, and we're kind of we're in competition with ourselves but also with the world. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I almost think, I haven't found anything to back this up, but I almost think that maybe one reason why they continue to do this throughout the 90s is to not only continue this competition for themselves, to continue to distract themselves, but maybe also to say, hey, we're Japan, we're doing okay, you know? And maybe it was like telling the country that, maybe it was telling the world that, you know, even though the economy wasn't super great.
Yes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
When you build these parks, then, I mean, in America, you just build it on some probably undesirable piece of land that's outside of town, you know, downstream from the nuclear power plant, like the one in my hometown. But, you know, they don't have that much of an option. Like, where are they putting these things?
Well, it depends. A lot of them are basically in the city, or have become like, you know, maybe the city has grown, has spread, and they are, you know, you can easily travel to them. They're not
Disney
that
was
far
in
away.
Downtown Orlando.
Right. I know. But like they're not that far away. And I guess I should preface that a lot of these Ferris wheels in particular, so a lot of amusement parks are being built, right?
Right.
I'm sure there are Ferris wheels within the amusement parks. A lot of these tallest wheels aren't necessarily within parks themselves.
They're like on boardwalks or something?
They're on boardwalks. They're in like entertainment, shopping, mall areas. So they're kind of like, here is a single ride in this entertainment district area.
Okay.
So I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them. It's like that. Ferris wheels are a popular form of amusement in Japan because it's something fun that people of all ages can enjoy together. Ferris wheels also give city dwellers in Japan a chance to get away from the activity of the city for a little while, even if it is located in the city. It's kind of secluded and quiet, and appreciate each other's company and relative privacy. Japan started the movement of utilizing the Ferris wheel as a tourist attraction. It should be noted that the London Eye did not officially open until 2000, and encouraging guests to view cities and sights from a bird's eye view. The Ferris wheels in Japan are not your typical old carnival Ferris wheels. They are all glass enclosed, air conditioned, covered in eye-catching lights with astonishing displays. Some gondolas are all glass and allow the riders to view the city below throughout the entire car. So not just like a window section. It's all window. It's all glass.
Like they're glass bottom?
They're glass bottomed. So, yeah.
Can you clean puke up easily from inside of them?
Sure you can.
I guess I'd kind of like that.
Yeah.
Working downtown, and then I'm on my break. I'm like, I can go for a funnel cake. Funnel cake.
Right. Well, like there is this one particular Ferris wheel that has like only a number of the whole glass cars, and like the wait for the glass cars is longer than the wait for the regular colored cars.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess it's a different experience. So, so I thought we'd talk real quick about the 3 tallest Ferris wheels in Japan currently. The Red Horse Osaka wheel is 123 meters or 404 feet tall, and is currently the tallest Ferris wheel in Japan and 6th tallest in the world. Wow. It has 72 rider cabins and takes 18 minutes to ride. It opened in 2016, and it is located at Expositi in Osaka, which it was the location of Expo 70, which was in the fall of 1970, was the first World's Fair held in Asia.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. The second tallest is Diamond and Flower Ferris Wheel, or Daya Tohana Daiken Rancha. It is 117 meters or 384 feet tall. Wow. It is in Kansai Rinkai Park in Edogawa, Tokyo, and is currently the 2nd tallest in the country. It is named for its light displays, which look like a diamond or a flower. When it opened in 2001, it was the 2nd tallest Ferris wheel in the world and the tallest in Japan. It holds the current record for the largest number of gondolas on a Ferris wheel at 68 cars. Huh. Daiken Rancha, which... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just like 68 cars is impressive. And
yeah.
then like, I think the Statue of Liberty is only like 300 feet tall.
Okay, yeah.
So this is big.
It's huge. Yeah, exactly. And they...
I can see my house from here.
Right, exactly.
I live in America.
Yeah, right. Daiken Rancha, which literally means big wheel in Japanese. I know. Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking that too. Is a 115 meter or 377 feet tall Ferris wheel at Pallet Town, which is a shopping and entertainment area in Odaiba, Tokyo, and is currently the 3rd tallest Ferris wheel in the country. When Daiken Rancha opened in 1999, it was the world's tallest Ferris wheel. It had the same 100 meter or 328 feet diameter as the world record predecessor, the Tempozan Ferris wheel in Osaka, but its overall height is 2.5 meters or 8.2 feet taller. Daiken Rancha is visible from the central urban area of Tokyo, and riders can see the twin-deck Rainbow Bridge, Tokyo Tower, and Haneda Airport, as well as central Tokyo during their 16-minute ride. The Boso Peninsula and Mount Fuji can also be viewed on a clear day, and at night the wheel is brightly lit by 120,000 lights that show numerous patterns and over 100 colors. So yeah, it's really cool. I have actually seen that one. I didn't get a chance to ride on it, but it's pretty cool.
You build a Ferris wheel a little faster than a skyscraper, so it's like they're really getting the scooped by. There's like a lot of Ferris wheels and stuff in Dubai and like the UAE and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I don't
These
have...
other like tourist destinations. So it's like we're the tallest. What? Oh.
And that's what would happen too.
Yeah.
Like they would be the tallest for like a year, maybe two, and then somebody else would surpass them, and maybe it would be another one in Japan even. I don't have the stats on me right now, but the tallest one right now is the High Roller in Las Vegas.
Ooh.
And
Where you can look out and see nothing.
Right.
I can see the trailer parks where the employees live. It's just nothing to see, right? It's Las Vegas.
I don't know. But there is one that is supposed to open, I believe, in Dubai sometime this year. That's supposed to be even taller than that.
Okay. And
so
it blasts off to the moon or
right,
whatever.
exactly. I did get a chance to ride a Ferris wheel while I was in Japan. HEP 5. HEP, H-E-P.
You don't want HEP 5.
I know. I know. It doesn't sound great in English, but it stands for Hankyu Entertainment Park and is owned by Hankyu Realty Company and is a very popular shopping and entertainment center in Umeda District in Osaka, and it opened in 1998. At the top of HEP 5 is the HEP 5 Ferris wheel, which is the one that I rode on. The wheel itself is only 75 meters or 246 feet tall, but when you include the shopping mall that it is on top of, it is 106 meters, a little over 347 feet off the ground.
Huh, okay.
The building is highly recognizable due to the Ferris wheel, which is all bright red. I went up with some friends at night. It was really cool, and it was a really great view of the city. One of the people I was with mentioned that another friend of ours was right. Osaka at night looks like Blade Runner.
That's not exactly a great comparison that you want to make. And on your left, you'll see the pyramid, the ziggurat of the Tyrell Corporation.
Yeah, well, I think he meant, there's a lot of bright lights. There's a lot of billboards. A
lot of geishas eating sushi and then Coca-Cola.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And blimps telling people to move to the off-world colonies. A new life awaits you. Yeah. It's answer a question for me, because I've only ever been on Ferris wheels that are the seats. You sit down.
Yes.
And you just hold on to that bar.
And you hold on to the bar, and it's like two people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So are they for making out? I guess let's just cut to the chase. You got would I feel uncomfortable riding a Ferris wheel with a male friend?
I don't know. I mean,
you can go in. You go inside, you sit down or whatever. They lock it. You're in a room basically.
Yeah.
Looking at the romantic landscape from Blade Runner.
Right.
And it's makeout time, right? If the pod is rocking.
Well, I think there were people making out. Our all the cars on the wheel that I was on, they can seat 4 people. You don't have to they don't make you get on with people you don't know. So, you could totally make out.
Okay, you could, but
yeah.
All right, no stories coming from you. All right, that's
I
fine.
did not experience that, so.
I'm just curious, and and as far as we're going here, this is a kid's show, but I mean, there's a romantic implication.
Well, that's true,
well.
and I mean, they barely know each other, right? And this is also a me who is, out of all of the century we've met so far, the least boy crazy out of all of them, I would say.
Those are the
easily.
ones you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, well, but so I think she's cautiously romantic. You know what I mean? So I would have been surprised if that had happened in this episode.
We're just talking about
I know.
Ferris wheels. I wanted to make sure we covered them completely.
Okay. For Itadakimasu with Usagi, what did Usagi eat in this episode? When the Senshi are visiting with Rei at Hikawa Shrine, there is a basket of mikan on top of her kotatsu. Did you see that? The Senshi are also either drinking tea or coffee. Mikan is a semi-seedless and easy-peeling type of citrus, which is also known as unshu mikan, satsuma orange, satsuma mandarin, and cold hardy mandarin, or...
Cold hardy mandarin?
Yes.
Funky cold hardy mandarin.
Yes. Or Narachi, I believe, in parts of Africa. The mikan is... Yeah, it grows in parts of Africa, too.
Well, I just assume that cold hardy means this doesn't have to be in, like, Florida to grow, basically.
Yeah, well, I'll get to it, but it can actually survive in colder temperatures than more so than a lot of other citrus fruit trees. So the mikan is known as Wenzhou mikan in China. Unshu mikan, as the mikan was previously known in Japan, is how the Chinese characters are read in Japanese. In both Chinese and Japanese, the name means, quote, honey citrus of Wenzhou, which is a city in Zhuangjiang province in China. Mikan came to Japan from China around 400 years ago. Japan is one of the largest producers of mikan in the world. It is mainly produced in Ehime Prefecture on Shikoku Island and Wakayama Prefecture on Honshu Island in the Kansai area. Mikan is one of the sweetest varieties of citrus. Mikan are cold resistant, and when grown in colder locations, the fruit actually becomes sweeter from the colder temperatures.
Huh.
A mature mikan tree can persist in temperatures as low as 12 degrees Fahrenheit for a few hours.
Okay.
So I thought this was kind of interesting. Jesuits brought mikan from Asia to the U.S. in the 1700s, establishing groves in the Jesuit plantation on the Mississippi River just north of New Orleans, Louisiana, which at the time was part of New Spain. Mm-hmm. The street Orange in New Orleans was originally named Rue de Orange and is the site of the Jesuit Grove. In 1878, during the Meiji period, Owari mikans, which I believe is a variety of mikans, were brought to the U.S. from the Satsuma province in Kyushu, Japan, by the spouse of the U.S. minister to Japan, General Van Valkenburg, who renamed the fruit Satsuma. Satsuma province is the western half of what today is Kagoshima Prefecture, which is in the southern part of the island of Kyushu. And this is where these particular plants came from.
They're only Satsumas if they're from Satsuma
Right,
province.
exactly.
Otherwise, they're just tangerines.
Yeah, right. In Japan, the mikan is often associated with winter comfort, as that is when they are in season. And there are a couple of different ways you can eat a mikan besides just eating it fresh, which is probably the most popular. But apparently in Kyushu, they sometimes grill the mikan, like whole.
Oh boy.
And so that's called yaki mikan. They're also incredibly popular to incorporate in your desserts. You can often find parts of fresh mikan in frozen desserts and that sort of thing. Yeah, parfaits, exactly. Yeah. And just real quick, my handle Mikan Hana comes from the mikan, meaning mikan, the citrus fruit, and hana, meaning flower. In order for it to be correct Japanese, it should be mikan no hana, which means the flower of mikan. But I liked the way that mikan hana sounded better, so that's what I went with.
Yeah.
Well.
10 ban.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I feel like we take shortcuts here. And like none of the all the sailors' last names are not actually real last names, but they pertain to like the element or whatever that their planet or their sign is connected to.
Right.
So, yeah. Look, it doesn't have to be all super formal. Sometimes you do the tea ceremony. Sometimes nesty plunge.
Yeah. Whoa. My Heart is a Kaleidoscope, where we talk about the fashion and Sailor Moon. What the heck are they wearing? We see Reika again, and she is wearing an archaeological dig outfit. What she's wearing is actually called a safari suit, a lightweight khaki-colored short-sleeve button-up shirt with epaulets, khaki-colored shorts, a brown belt with a gold buckle, khaki-colored boots with aqua soles. She is also wearing a khaki-colored pith helmet, her circular aqua stud earrings, and a gold necklace with a circular gold charm.
What do people on a dig wear now? Because it's not this.
Yeah,
and this is a cartoon. It's fine. They're using visual shorthand.
Right.
But this is essentially the costume of the colonist pretty much all over the world. So
yeah,
if you're
that's a good point.
If you're going to Zaire or whatever, and you're like, yeah, we're going to do some digging. And we're all dressed like Stanley or something like that. That's probably not going to fly.
No, probably not. I would imagine.
Just wear a t-shirt and jeans.
Right. You wear something comfortable that you don't care if it gets dirty or ruined, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Ami, her street clothes, she is wearing a V-neck navy sweater, and on top of that, she is wearing a bright pink button-up cardigan with light yellow trim all the way around the opening, bright pink buttons, pockets, and a large light yellow A over the left side of her chest. She is also wearing a light blue skirt and navy socks. Later, we see her wearing brown shoes and a light green scarf.
Did you ever wear any personalized clothes when you were growing up? Or now?
Oh, me? I used to, well, this is embarrassing, but I mean, I did a lot of arts and crafts as a kid, and I made I don't even know how many puffy paint t-shirts that said my name on it.
Yeah, but not in college.
No, not in college. Not since I was a little kid.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Because these girls they're wearing A's, they're wearing Usagi kanji, they're
Well, at least with the Usagi, it's kind of cute, right? You know what I mean?
It's just a Laverne and Shirley sweater, or I guess just Laverne sweater.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's
Look up Laverne and Shirley,
cute.
kids.
Right. We see Ryo in his street clothes. He's wearing a light blue sweater, a light yellow button-up shirt with a collar placed over the sweater, dark brown slacks, white and blue sneakers that almost look like Converse, and a light brown winter jacket with 4 toggle fasteners.
Yeah. That's a real Eddie Bauer situation.
It's very, very Eddie Bauer, very preppy.
J. Peterman.
Yeah, right. And then we see Mako. She's wearing a bright orange sweater that has red ribbed turtleneck, a wide vertical aqua stripe all the way around on her left side, and a thin horizontal red stripe around her chest. She is also wearing a long light blue skirt, aqua socks, and a very light green puffy down winter jacket. Minako is wearing a V-neck aqua sweater that has a dark green zigzag stripe towards the top of her chest. Above the stripe, the sweater is a slightly darker shade of aqua. She is wearing what appears to be a red skirt. However, she is under the kotatsu, so we don't really get a good look at it.
Right.
Rei is wearing a V-neck orange sweater that has a horizontal line of bright pink stars around her chest and on her sleeves. She's also wearing blue jeans. Usagi is wearing a light purple sweatshirt that has a maroon collar and maroon around the wrists, a small white bunny head on the left side of her chest, and a large white bunny head on the back. She is also wearing which I think is super cute. She is also wearing a short brown skirt and maroon socks. At Hikawa Shrine, we also see her wearing a hanten, which is a traditional Japanese padded short winter coat. The hanten dates back to the Edo period, which was 1603 to 1868. The hanten that Usagi is wearing is mostly bright red with a yellow plaid pattern. The coat has a large trim of navy blue fabric around the opening and around the large wrists of the large sleeves. Later, we see Usagi is wearing a light yellow scarf and matching light yellow mittens that have a bright pink patch on the back of them. She is also wearing light purple sneakers.
And Mamoru is just wearing black.
Yeah, and we saw this outfit in the episode before when they're at Lake Yokai. It's the same outfit except he's got some very square sunglasses that he's wearing with it. So yeah, he's got his black motorcycle jacket and black slacks.
Yeah,
so, yeah, he's a bad dude.
Yeah, he looks like I don't know. He looks like he's, an alien who, if he had a motorcycle helmet, he's an alien who's trying to blend in with with humanity.
Right.
And he takes the helmet off. I don't know.
It's not really working. Now we're at villain gauge, where you rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. No Youma this week. Just evil Tuxedo Mask. So I don't...
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rained out again. I mean, I don't think we can rate anything, right?
No, I did have other things that I wanted to talk about, but
Okay.
I wanted to check in with you really quick.
Oh,
Maybe
nice.
not. I don't want to rate them just yet,
Oh.
but how do you think evil Tuxedo Mask is doing so far?
How do I think he's doing?
Yeah, or what do you think of this character of the evil version
It's a
of TM?
Pretty piss poor job so far.
Yeah,
Which makes, I mean, we haven't done a what am I think is going on in a while.
should probably do one maybe next episode. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
before we hit the end of the first season here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figure they're keeping him around for a reason.
Yeah.
Some reveal or something that we don't know about him yet.
Yeah.
Because he is not very good at this, and the show knows it. Like it's making story out of him being at cross purposes, but it's like a reverse undercover cop. Let me explain.
Okay, please do.
I'd have to. In that, you undercover cop story, you got the undercover cop. He's pretending to be a gangster, mobster, what have you.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go whack somebody, and he's got to like pretend to whack them. They're like, "This is you passed this test, and you're in."
Okay.
And then you go in and you beat the guy up, and he's like, "Please, don't kill me." He's like, "Listen, I'm not gonna kill you, okay? But I'm gonna shoot in the floor, and then you just
Okay.
run off. You just
Right,
get out
right.
of here,
Right.
And you tell anybody, I'll shoot you for real."
Right.
And then the guy runs off, and he comes back to the car, and he's like, "It's done." Like this is like the reverse of that. Like he's openly just not doing what he's supposed to do. But he's
Right.
not trying to infiltrate. He doesn't remember who he is.
No.
But he's in this organization, and they're keeping him around and like gaslighting him to like keep him in this organization,
Right.
even though he's terrible at this.
He's not very good.
I'm not sure that he's actually thwarted anything just yet. They got close with the princess and the goo shooting.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, Ami just outsmarts him and just straight up beats him in this, which, you'll win some, lose some. But yeah, well, why is he taking the lead? Especially when
I know.
we go through the 4 great kings or whatever, and we
Yes.
get to the last one, and you should have asked me how Kunzite's doing, because
Yeah, I know.
terrible.
Right? They didn't, but they're not really giving him anything to do.
No, we go from Jadeite to Nephrite to Zoisite. It's like these are just getting better and better. I can't wait to see what Kunzite's gonna. Oh, nothing. He's gonna do nothing.
And
okay,
he looks
great.
freaking awesome. And I like his cape and his
I
hair.
guess.
And I like his relationship with Zoisite. But yeah, it's kind of like
kind of a fizzle.
It is.
so far.
That was the word I was reaching for too.
Yeah.
I really like the first episode we see Tuxedo Mask in, where he was evil, which was like episode 36. He had such great entrance, throw the rose, turn around
When
in
he
the chair.
spins around in the in the salon chair.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. And I think he had some really great lines in that. But I think they could do a lot more with him than we've seen so far. I like that he has restraint, but I think he could just do so much more to try to weaken and drive the Senshi apart and try to get the crystal. And I just don't think that they're doing enough with him.
No,
but...
and suddenly out of nowhere he can summon a snake spirit from the water or something like that.
We don't see him building to that at all.
Not well defined what he's capable of, or even what he wants.
No.
So I don't know. I'm in a wait and see pattern at this point, because this show, I feel like they know where they're going.
Yes.
And so I've learned to trust the show. But yeah, we got to do something.
Yes.
Soon.
For Subu or Dubu, where we talk about the differences between the sub and the dub. Just real quick, in the dub, Ami is Amy, Ro is Greg, Kunzite is Malachite, Mamoru is
Malachite?
Yes.
That's
we
right.
talked
We talked
about
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mamoru is Darien, and Mako is Lita. In the dub, the dialogue when Amy is talking to Greg on the phone, it is altered. Amy invites Greg over to her home, which with these two characters only being acquaintances and this early on in the episodes seems uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
So I don't really like that. In the dub, the scene between Queen Beryl and Malachite, the tension is way less subtle, and Beryl even mentions Zoisite for some reason. Yeah. In the original anime, when Mamoru is taken by the Dark Kingdom and brainwashed, he is told that his name
Re-educated.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right. He is told that his name is Endymion. So whenever someone calls him Mamoru, he doesn't know what they are talking about.
Yeah.
In the dub, however, when Darien is brainwashed, he is told that his name is
Fluffernutter.
Darien. So they decided
Actually, you know
to
what?
not change his name.
Keep your lies simple.
Yeah, I guess. But they didn't change some of the other context within the dialogue. So in the dub, when Amy...
So when they come up to him and they go, Darien, he's like, that name has no meaning to me.
Well, they changed it a little bit, but it's not great. Like, so Amy and Lita call him Darien. He says, quote, correction, Prince Darien, champion of the Negaverse, end quote.
Wow, that's gilding the lily.
Right. So, not great. In the original, when Sailor Moon and Sailor Jupiter join Sailor Mercury to fight Tuxedo Mask, Mako tells Ami that she looks much better than before, and Ami says, quote, I am, and I owe it to you, Sailor Jupiter, end quote. In the dub, Amy says, quote, all of Luna's training must have paid off, end quote. I hate this because not only does it completely change the original intention, it takes away a
Which
really
is that these
nice...
cats are sleeping on the job,
Well,
literally.
yeah.
And these girls are supporting each other.
Right. It takes away a really nice character moment as well.
Yeah.
So I just, ugh.
And we'll probably never get one ever again.
Yeah, right.
I don't see a lot of intersect between Mako and Ami, you know?
Not necessarily, but yeah. Now we're up to where we rate the episode and we give our English and Deke titles. I really like, there's some really great scenes in this. I really like the scene between Mako and Ami and then the follow-up where Ami thanks Mako for her advice.
Right.
I think it is some nice character development and it shows how the friendship is growing. I like that we have a love interest for Ami, and I think that the scene at the end was sweet. I also really like her speech that she gives to Ro and how they're so much alike and how it's better to choose to live and you know how that is ultimately the better choice.
Right.
I do like that the 7 Great Youma have returned. However, I think that the events of this episode could have been spread out to at least a 2-parter, if not more, and we could have seen more of each character. So I am going to give this episode 3 roses.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, no, not the rating. I mean,
okay.
like, we already, spent so much time chasing them down. I mean, at least 7 episodes.
Yeah, I'm not saying 7 episodes.
I don't want to do any more with them.
Oh, okay.
It's like if, you'll see this in other things. Like, you'll have a character who is part of a multi-episode arc of a TV show, and then for some reason you go back to them, and it's like, hey, what's up? Like, it's just a glorified cameo or something like that.
Yeah.
My beloved Farscape
Yes.
did this, I think, in the first season or maybe in the second season, which would be weird because actors move on. How do you know you can get the actor back? But yeah, they had to pull off some heist, and they're like, we can't do this. Like, we don't have enough people. And the main character is like, I got a plan. And it turns out the plan was they go back and collect from 4 different episodes, like the people that they sort of fought against, but then kind of became friends with. And so now they have this ragtag Guardians of the Galaxy type team that they're going to pull off this heist with.
Well, I think that's
and
really
it was
cool.
all one. Well, that might have been a 2-parter, actually. So my argument is invalid.
I guess I don't know. It would have been nice to just have seen more of all the characters or seen the Yoma again. If we
you think
were
there's more
teased with that.
There's more to get out of Great Master Joe.
I don't know. So I don't know. At least some of them.
We use that crane to dig into the deep character of Crane Master Joe.
What did you think of this episode?
3.
3?
Yeah, I hate always the same stupid rating, but
we don't always give the same rating. We don't.
No, but more often than not, we do. I don't know. It might. I don't know. I guess it could have been a 4, but an episode without a Yoma is scarcely an episode at all. But yeah, the character moments were strong. They're just trying to assassinate Usagi's character, which I'm not. We've come so far.
I know.
I don't know. I know we've got a whole franchise to get through, but maybe they're just reveling in like the last, hopefully, few episodes of Usagi's complete and utter worthlessness or inattentiveness.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, she'll grow more as a character in responsibility as we go on. But yeah, great Mako moment, Ami moment.
Yes.
We actually saw Tuxedo Mask kind of do something.
Yes.
It was kind of ineffective, but so yeah, I mean, 3 probably all around.
Yeah, I agree. My English title is Evil Tuxedo, A Me Battles Love.
She battles love?
Yeah.
She battles herself.
Yeah, she battles herself. She kind of decides maybe, she does care about Ryo, and maybe this is something that she, maybe she should explore that part of herself. You know what I mean? So. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Great. My Deke title is Wheelin' and Dealin'.
Meh! I like it.
Enough said.
Yes. Next episode, we are talking about episode number 42. Seira Venusu no Kako, Minako no Hiren in Japanese. Sailor Venus's Past, Minako's Tragic Love, the English translation, and no English title as it was not included in the Deke dub.
Uh-oh. Too Hot for TV is back.
Yeah, this has not happened since episode 20, The Summer, the Beach, Youth, and Ghosts.
This is youth and ghosts.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, so we got like 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Sailor Venus Blues.
Are you figuring out what their Deke title would have been?
I have to work double hard.
Yeah, you're right.
To make up for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think, I can't wait for that. I wanted to say before we go that we are always looking for feedback from listeners, and if you want to give us a review on whatever service you listen to us on, and if you don't listen to us on a service or it doesn't take reviews, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. But maybe stop off at our Facebook page or on our Twitter at noob_sailor and just throw us a line and tell us you're out there and tell us how you think we're doing. And the best way to share the show is to tell a friend.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Yes.
I don't know when this is going to come out exactly, but we've had a lot of success on social media recently. A lot of people commenting and sharing and stuff like that. And we always love to see that. But really, telling a friend about it.
Yes.
If a friend came to me and said, you got to listen to this Sesame Street podcast.
Yeah, right.
I'd be like, oh, really? Sesame Street? But my friend and I have similar tastes because that's why we're friends.
Right.
Fire up that Sesame Street podcast.
That's right.
What would a Sesame Street podcast be called?
Conversations with Elmo.
Hanging with Mr. Hooper?
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's it. That's the last old-ass reference I'm going to make tonight.
Oh, that was a good one.
I'm done.
Yeah. Well, that's our show for this week, and the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Sun Police, hold it right there.